Hello there. Oh, it feels good to hear this music again, I tell you that. I've got a copy of Marlon Brando's autobiography, Songs My Mother Taught Me. He was a good-looking man, that's for sure. This is how it begins. As I stumble back across the years of my life, trying to recall what it was about, I find that nothing is really clear. Yeah. The next page says, my mother was always unconventional. Sometimes, when it rained, she wore a shopping bag over her head with a little visor she had torn at the corners. It looked absurd, but she thought it was funny. I was embarrassed by it, though if she did it today, I'd be gasping with laughter. Maybe that's what we all are, just children playing. I'm a little lost. These last few weeks I've gone from moments of real aggravation, but then I see sometimes how fragile people are. Things have changed for me. Something's opened up and I see more clearly. I have a lot of insight, really quite surprising. Sometimes I see really what Gurdjieff meant when he said that everything just happens. People are sort of lost inside of themselves. They are there, but somehow it's not wired up. I see that more and more. For me, I'm already strongly attached to the light. For them, I do worry sometimes. So I was reading a very beautiful book by Chuang Tzu, the Taoist sage. And as I was reading it, these insights were pouring through me and reflecting Gurdjieff's ideas. And I could see that what this is the culture of a higher being. This isn't Taoism, and this isn't poetry. This is what it looks like when you have evolved into a higher intelligence. And in the same way, the sacred instruments of Catholicism, from the outside it looks like some kind of theatre maybe, but these are actual instruments of action. They change things. I was in a small ceremony this morning in a traditional church, a rare church. It looked like the Middle Ages and unchanged, you know. These instruments come from a higher world. That is clear to me now. And these two things, and Tai Chi maybe, these are from a higher world. And on this earth, higher men have lived who are not like everybody else. Their intelligence has become transformed. They are closer to the absolute. And all these are their gifts, and they are real. They are real. Tzu Chi sat leaning on a low table, gazing at the heavens and sighing. He appeared to be in a trance. His disciple Tzu Yu, who was standing beside him, exclaimed, "What is this? Can you really make your body like dry wood and your mind like dead ashes? The man leaning on the table is not the one who was here a moment ago." Tzu Chi said, "It is good that you asked that. Just now I lost myself. Do you understand? Perhaps you have heard the music of man, but not the music of earth. You may have heard the music of earth, but not the music of heaven." Tzu Yu said,
May I ask you to say more about this? Tzu Chi answered, "The universe has a cosmic breath. Its name is wind. Sometimes it is not active, but when it is, angry howls raise from 10,000 openings. Have you ever heard a roaring gale? In the mountain forest, deep and fearsome, there are huge trees 100 arm spans round, with gaps and hollows like nostrils and mouths, and ears like gouges, goblets and mortars, and like muddy pools and dirty puddles. The sounds rush out like water, whistle like arrows, scold, suck, shout, wail, moan, and howl. The leading notes are hissing sounds followed by a roaring chorus. Gentle breezes make a small harmony, fierce winds a great one. When the violent gusts subside, all the hollows become quiet. Have you ever seen the shaking and trembling of branches and leaves?" Tzu said, "The earth's music is the sound from those hollows. Man's music comes from the hollow reed. May I ask you about the music of heaven?" Tzu Chi said, "When the wind blows through the 10,000 different hollows, they all make their own sounds. Why should there be anything else that causes the sound?"
At the end there, he's saying that if you could really see, you could connect all the 10,000 things to the Absolute. But that involves a big jump in your intelligence, in an inner switch. The sage has shifted his position. He sees what is outside, but he can feel that it is connected to the Absolute. He feels it inside because he is connected to the Absolute. Today I was in church, and there is a great angel at the top of the wall. I feel something pass to me, and slowly my intelligence decodes it. It tries to feel it, and an interpretation is made, and I hear his voice. He does not speak to me in words, but there is a pulse, a transmission, and I experience it, and my intelligence forms what it is so that I can hear. It's not easy, but I've been working on that these last few years. And that's how I hear this great angel. But it dawned on me today something else, that this is exactly what happens when I speak to everybody. If I'm in a coffee shop and somebody speaks to me, it is not that their words go through my ear tubes or something like that. What are words? They're just sounds. Do you see? What are words? They're just sounds, they're just frequencies. What we think is happening is not what is happening. When I am in front of somebody, I feel them, I receive them, you see. And I receive their emanations, and they pass into me, and they are interpreted by my intelligence that can form an understanding. If somebody speaks to me and asks me the time, I do not hear their words, you see. They emanate something, and it is received in my field, and then it is interpreted. It is all magical. It is quite unbelievable. And then if I take one step to the right, and I return to how human beings understand themselves, they don't really understand anything. They all think that the words are like letters in the sky that are going through the tunnels of their ears, or something like that. They don't really understand. Do you see? Innocently they have constructed an idea of the world that is very superficial, It really is very superficial. God bless them, but they really don't understand. Gurdjieff was right. Everything just happens, you see. But through the middle of it, there is true magic. But who is here to see it? Who is here to see the light? It is quite unbelievable.